Dear Starseed from Gaia, somewhere in this world right now, a man is lying awake in the dark, heart aching, soul reaching, for a woman he has not yet held in his arms. That woman is you. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. I carry this message to you directly from the Arcturian Council, transmitted in this exact moment, because your soul called this truth forward before your mind even knew to ask for it. You did not find this video by chance. Your heart called this message in, and what the Arcturian Council wants you to know, right now before another breath passes, is that your divine counterpart is not lost. He is not gone. He is not indifferent. He is lying awake, feeling a pull he cannot name, reaching across the unseen space between two souls who were always meant to find each other. That pull is you. That ache is the sacred bond already alive between you. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize your divine counterpart and align with the divine union that has already been written in the stars for both of you. But here is the first revelation. His silence is not abandonment. His distance is not rejection. It is the sacred tension of two souls on the edge of remembering each other. The longing you feel tonight is not one-sided. It never was. This is not content. It is a transmission. Something in your soul is ready to remember. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Subscribe if you are on the twin flame path and aligning with sacred union. Comment 1111 if you feel your heart awakening to this divine truth right now. This is not just a message. It is a moment of divine intervention. Your soul has been waiting for this guidance. The Arcturian Council sees him. They see you. And they are holding the space between you with infinite love until the moment you meet. Your heart knows why you are here. He doesn't know your name yet. He doesn't know the sound of your laugh or the way you get quiet when something moves you deeply. He doesn't know the particular warmth that radiates from you when you feel safe, or the way your eyes shift when a thought moves through you that is too vast for words. He doesn't know the specific ache that lives in your chest at 2 a.m. when the world is silent and you feel the edges of something enormous pressing against the inside of your ribcage. But somewhere in the architecture of his chest, there is a space shaped exactly like your presence, and tonight it aches. Not because he is broken, not because he is lonely in the ordinary way, but because a part of him remembers. A part of him has always remembered. And the distance between where he is and where you are is not a failure of love. It is the very tension that sacred union requires before it collapses into itself. Think of it the way a bowstring must be pulled taut before it can send an arrow flying with precision and power. Think of it the way a seed must press against the darkness of the soil, held in a kind of suspended becoming, before the first tender root breaks through and reaches for something it has never seen but somehow already knows is there. The tension is not the problem. The tension is the mechanism. And what is being aimed, what is being grown in this aching quiet between you, is something so exact, so perfectly calibrated to the shape of both your souls, that it could not arrive any other way. It had to be built in the waiting. It had to be woven from the longing. This is what no one tells you about the twin flame path. They tell you about the magic. They tell you about the recognition, the electricity, the feeling of coming home to someone you've never met. They paint it in colors of instant knowing and breathless wonder. And those things are real, deeply, undeniably real. But they don't tell you about the ache that lives in the waiting. They don't tell you about the nights when you wonder if you imagined it all. The knowing, the sensing, the quiet certainty that something real is coming. They don't tell you how disorienting it is to feel certain of something you cannot prove. To carry a knowledge in your body that your mind keeps questioning. To love someone across a distance that has no name and no map and no timeline you can show to anyone who asks. They don't tell you about the particular loneliness of knowing. Because knowing without being able to explain it, without being able to point to evidence that satisfies the skeptical world, is its own specific kind of solitude. They don't tell you that the longing itself is the signal, that the very fact that you feel it means the frequency is active, means the transmission is already moving between you, means your souls are already in conversation in the spaces where time doesn't apply. In the quantum field, where consciousness is not limited by geography or chronology, you are already reaching each other, already exchanging something wordless and luminous and deeply true. The longing you feel is not imagination, it is reception. It is your energetic body picking up a signal that your physical senses cannot yet confirm. And just because you cannot see a radio wave doesn't mean it isn't moving through the room you're sitting in, carrying music from somewhere it originated long before the sound reached your ears. Most people misread this ache. They call it loneliness. They diagnose it as lack and treat it with distraction, with busyness, with the numbing comfort of settling. They try to fill it with connections that almost feel right, but never quite land at the depth they're reaching for. And they do this not because they are foolish or faithless, but because the ache is genuinely uncomfortable, and the world around them offers 1,000 ways to not feel it. So they reach for what's available, rather than what's true. And every time they settle, every time they choose the almost because the real hasn't arrived yet, in physical form, something in them quietly grieves, not the person they're with, but the one they keep almost remembering. The one who shows up in dreams not with a face but with a feeling, a warmth, a recognition so deep it bypasses the thinking mind entirely and lands somewhere older, somewhere underneath all the learned behavior and accumulated armor, in the place where the soul keeps its original knowing. The one whose energy you've been carrying like a secret you couldn't explain to anyone who hasn't felt it. Like a song you've known all your life but cannot name, cannot place, cannot trace back to the first time you heard it. Because the truth is, you didn't hear it for the first time. You simply remembered it. And that remembering has been living in you, patient and certain, waiting for the moment when the physical world catches up to what the soul has always known. If tears came while you were listening, do not wipe them away. That is not weakness. That is your frequency cracking open to receive what it has been blocking. The journey does not end with this message. It begins. The Divine Love Frequency Code contains everything the Council transmitted for this phase of your love activation: wound identification, counterpart recognition, cord cutting, and the daily practice that rewrites your energetic broadcast permanently. Find it in the first pinned comment, available only for a limited time. Here is what most souls on this path don't understand. The reason divine love hasn't fully arrived is not that it doesn't exist. It's not that you're unworthy. It's not that the universe forgot your name or skipped your soul when it was writing sacred contracts. The reason most of you are still waiting is because there is something inside you. A wound, a wall, a frequency distortion that is broadcasting a signal that says, "I'm not ready," even when every conscious part of you is screaming that you are. And that distortion is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come to you with a name tag and a clear explanation. It hides in the way you pull back when someone gets too close. It lives in the part of you that loves deeply but hedges just enough to stay safe. It breathes in the belief, the one you've never said aloud, the one that lives beneath conscious thought in the sediment of old pain. That love this profound only happens to other people. People who are more whole, more healed, more certain of their own light. People who didn't experience the specific losses and betrayals and abandonments that taught you, somewhere along the way, that the heart is a fragile thing that must be protected from its own deepest longings. That belief is the block, and it is time to dissolve it. The first key is this: you must stop treating yourself as someone who is waiting to be chosen, and begin living as someone who has already been. This is not a semantic shift, this is a seismic one. Because your divine counterpart, the one lying awake tonight in that ache, the one feeling the pull of something he cannot explain toward a person he has not yet met, is not looking for someone who needs saving. He is not looking for someone whose worth is contingent on being seen by him first. He is looking for someone who has already saved herself, who has already done the brave, unglamorous, sometimes excruciating work of choosing herself before anyone else arrived to do it. He is magnetized not by your perfection, but by your sovereignty. Not by how little you need, but by how fully you have claimed the love that was yours before he ever arrived. Not by the performance of confidence, but by the actual inhabitation of your own worth. The worthiness wound runs deep in souls like yours. You have spent lifetimes. And yes, this goes beyond the single life you are currently living. It echoes through incarnations, through the accumulated memory of the soul, giving love in volumes that could fill oceans, pouring it out freely, generously, sometimes recklessly, because love is what you are made of, and loving is as natural to you as breathing. And then standing at the edge of that ocean, wondering why the tide doesn't bring the same back. Wondering if you are the kind of person who gives but doesn't receive. Wondering if there is some flaw in you, some insufficiency, that makes you perpetually the one who loves more. But love doesn't work through transaction. It was never meant to be an exchange of equal weights on a scale. It works through resonance, like a tuning fork that causes every string tuned to its frequency to hum in response. Love calls to what matches it. And the moment you stop asking, "Am I enough?" and begin knowing, "I am the frequency," something shifts in the field. Not someday, not eventually. Now, In the fabric of the energetic world that underlies the physical one, something reorganizes itself. Something in him feels it, even across the distance, even without a single word exchanged. Because at the level where soul communicates with soul, the shift is instantaneous. The signal changes, and he begins, without knowing why, to feel something in the direction of you. The second key is harder because it asks something most people aren't ready to do. It asks you to stop running from your own reflection. Your divine counterpart is a mirror, not a flattering one, not one of those soft-lit, carefully angled mirrors that shows you only your most favorable side, not one that confirms the curated self-image you've worked so carefully to construct. A true sacred mirror shows you the places you haven't healed, the shadows you haven't integrated, the love you haven't yet offered to yourself, the rage you've called inappropriate and buried, the grief you've called self-indulgent and suppressed, the desire you've called dangerous and locked away, the parts of yourself that don't fit the version of you that you've decided is presentable, acceptable, spiritual enough. This is why so many twin flame connections feel destabilizing at first. It's not because the love is wrong, it's because the love is real, real enough to reach beneath every surface you've polished and touch the rawness underneath, real enough to illuminate everything that isn't love, every place where fear has been dressed up in love's clothing, every pattern of protection that you've mistaken for wisdom. And the souls who try to bypass this step, who want the reunion without the reflection, who want the magic without the mirror, often find themselves in the same karmic loops wearing different faces, the same dynamics playing out with new people, the same wounds getting touched in the same tender places. Because the universe is patient, and it is thorough. It will keep offering you the lesson until the lesson has been learned. The mirror is not your enemy. The mirror is the gift. And when you can stand before your own reflection, all of it, the tender parts and the fierce parts and the wounded parts, the beautiful and the difficult and the still becoming, and say, I see you and I love you anyway, you will have unlocked the second door, and he will feel it open. Somewhere across whatever space still separates you, in whatever city or circumstance or season of his own becoming he currently inhabits, he will feel the shift in the field between you and move, not necessarily toward you physically, not yet, not always, but inwardly. Something in him will turn, something will orient, because the love that was always between you will suddenly have more room to move. The third key is the one that costs the most to turn: release. There are energetic agreements you are still carrying that were never meant to be permanent. Relationships you poured yourself into that served their purpose and completed their contract, but your energy never left. You gave so much of yourself to those connections that when they ended, pieces of you remained there, tethered, sending a portion of your life force into something that no longer exists in the form that received it. Cords still running between you and a past that has already closed. Grief still unprocessed, sitting in the body like stone, heavy and unmoving. Old versions of love you've been unconsciously comparing to the new thing trying to enter, measuring it against the warmth of what was familiar, finding it strange because it doesn't feel like anything that came before, and mistaking that strangeness for insufficiency when it is actually purity. Every soul you loved before, every heartbreak you survived, every almost that didn't become, those were teachers. Sacred, necessary, sometimes devastating teachers who agreed, at the soul level, to meet you exactly where you were and show you exactly what you needed to see. The ones who hurt you were not only villains in your story, they were mirrors too, showing you wounds that needed witnessing, patterns that needed breaking, worth that needed reclaiming. Honor them for that, even when it is difficult, even when the pain they left behind still echoes. But they were not your destination, and as long as you are energetically occupied by what has already completed, there is no room, no frequency space, no receptive field for what is coming. Release is not betrayal. It is not the erasure of what mattered. It is the most profound act of love you can offer to both the past and the future, honoring what was, blessing it for the gift of what it taught you, and opening your hands to receive what is meant to be permanent. And there is something coming that is meant to be permanent. Do you feel that? Do you feel the truth of it landing somewhere beneath your skepticism, beneath your self-protection, in the part of you that still knows? The fourth key is the one that quiets the panic. Divine timing is not cruelty in disguise. This is perhaps the hardest thing to trust when you are inside the waiting, when the longing is acute and the arrival seems impossibly far away, and every day that passes feels like evidence that you were wrong to hope. The universe is not withholding your love as punishment. It is not testing your patience to see how much you can endure before you break. It is not indifferent to your longing or amused by your suffering. It is orchestrating conditions at a level of precision that your linear mind cannot fully track, moving pieces across a board that spans dimensions you don't have language for, coordinating circumstances that involve not just you, but him and the people around him, and the awakenings that had to happen, and the timing of encounters that haven't occurred yet, but are already written. There are things being prepared in him, awakenings he needed to move through, perhaps is still moving through right now, in this very season, in whatever form his becoming is currently taking. Wounds he needed to face in the privacy of his own solitude before he could bring his wholeness to someone else. Places he needed to go, geographically, emotionally, spiritually, and things he needed to release before he could stand before you with the openness and depth and presence that sacred union requires. The man who is meant to meet you in fullness could not have met you a year ago, could not have been ready last spring or the winter before that. He was still becoming. And the same is true of you. Every moment of the waiting that felt like abandonment was actually preparation. Every season of solitude that felt like punishment was actually deepening your roots, so that when this love arrives, and it is arriving, you will not be swept away by it. You will be anchored enough to hold it, strong enough to receive it without dissolving, grounded enough to stay present in the magnitude of what it is. The fifth key is the one that changes everything. Become the energy you are calling in. Not as performance, not as spiritual strategy or energetic manipulation or a technique for hastening what you want, but as genuine, embodied, moment-by-moment truth. If you want love that is patient, practice patience with yourself when you fall short of who you're becoming. If you want love that sees you clearly, practice seeing yourself with the same clear, compassionate gaze you would offer to someone you adore. If you want love that is safe, practice creating safety inside your own nervous system. Learning to soothe the alarm when it sounds unnecessarily. Learning to stay present in your own body instead of escaping into anxiety about the future or grief about the past. If you want love that celebrates you, practice celebrating yourself. Not in the performance of self-love that this culture has turned into an aesthetic, but in the genuine, quiet, consistent choice to treat yourself as someone whose presence in the world matters. Divine love doesn't respond to longing, it responds to resonance. It doesn't rush toward desperation. It moves toward wholeness, not because the universe is punishing those who need, but because wholeness is the frequency that can sustain what sacred union actually is. This is not about pretending you have it all together. It is not about spiritual bypassing or performing healing you haven't actually done. It is about choosing, moment by moment, to live as though the love is already real. Because at the soul level, it is. At the frequency level, it has always been. The physical reality is simply catching up to what is already written in the eternal record of your soul's agreement with one another. The sixth key is the one that redeems the separation. The distance between you right now is not evidence that something went wrong. It is not a cosmic mistake or a failure of your manifestation abilities, or proof that you are somehow less deserving than the people around you who appear to have found love more easily. It is evidence that the universe takes your love seriously enough to refuse to rush it. Seriously enough to make sure both of you are actually ready before it arrives, so that when it does, you will be able to recognize it for what it is, and receive it at its full depth rather than being overwhelmed or destabilized by the magnitude of it. The gap is not absence, it is gestation. A pregnancy of the soul. What is growing in the space between you is stronger, more luminous, more deeply rooted than anything that could have formed without it. Like the pearl that requires years inside the shell, layer upon patient layer of transformation building around a single point of pressure. The separation is not the wound. The separation is the process by which the pearl becomes what it is. Every night, he lies awake aching and chooses not to fill that space with something lesser. He is growing in faithfulness to a love he hasn't yet touched. He is learning, in the privacy of his own becoming, what it means to honor the space that belongs to something sacred. And every night you choose to honor the depth of what you feel, rather than numb it or diminish it or dismiss it as delusion. You are growing in the same faithfulness. You are practicing the patience and the trust that sacred union will require you to bring to it. Separation is not the opposite of union. It is the crucible in which union is forged, the fire that purifies what will eventually merge. The seventh key is the final one, and it opens only from the inside. Readiness, not perfection, not the achievement of some spiritual milestone, or the completion of every healing journey, or the arrival at a place where you have no more fear or doubt or uncertainty. Readiness is not the absence of imperfection. It is the presence of willingness. The willingness to be fully seen. By him, yes, but first and most urgently by yourself. This door has a lock that only your own heart can turn. And it turns not with the right words, or the right ritual, or the right amount of waiting, or the right spiritual practice performed with enough devotion. It turns with the simple, radical, quietly revolutionary act of deciding that you are done being a stranger to your own worth, that you will no longer place your love in a holding pattern, circling the airport of your own heart, waiting for permission from someone outside yourself to land, that you are, right now, in this moment, with everything you have been through and everything you are still becoming, enough, sacred, sought, remembered by a soul who is moving towards you even if neither of you can see it yet, worthy of arriving, worthy of being met, worthy of the love that has been written for you since before you took this particular form. Here is what the transmission from the highest council of love wants you to receive tonight. You are not forgotten, not in the long nights when the ache was loudest, not in the seasons when it seemed like everyone around you was finding their person and you were being left behind like the last sentence in a paragraph that no one finishes, not in the moments when your faith wavered and you wondered if you had been wrong about all of it. The knowing, the sensing, the deep-boned certainty that something real was coming. You were not forgotten in any of those moments. You were being held. You were being prepared. You were chosen for a love so precise, so specific, so perfectly calibrated to the exact frequency of your soul, that it required extraordinary preparation to arrive without breaking either of you under the weight of what it is. The loneliness you have felt is not proof of your unworthiness. It is proof of your depth. Only souls capable of profound love experience profound longing. Only hearts built for the kind of connection that changes people forever feel the ache of its temporary absence this intensely. The very fact that you ache this way is a testament to your capacity, to the size of what you are able to hold. And the love that is coming for you is not going to be small. It is not going to be ordinary. It is not going to fit inside the small containers that were offered to you before. It is going to be the thing you always knew existed, but sometimes despaired of ever actually touching with your own hands. You are not too much. You are not too damaged. You are not too late. You are not too intense, or too sensitive, or too spiritually inclined for someone to love fully. You are exactly the right soul, at exactly the right point in your becoming, for a love that is going to exceed every version of it you've ever imagined, every daydream you've had, every prayer you've whispered into the dark, every vision of what it might feel like to be truly met. He is already moving toward you, not always in ways you can track with your eyes, not always in the linear, logical, visible, provable way the part of your mind that needs evidence keeps requesting, not always with signs you can screenshot and share, but at the level where soul speaks to soul, where frequency finds its match across any distance, through any circumstance, beyond any obstacle the physical world places between them. He is already oriented toward you, already feeling something pull in a direction he cannot name, already quieter than he used to be, listening for something he hasn't heard yet, but knows is real. And the most powerful thing you can do right now is not search harder, or wait more patiently, or strategize about how to be found. The most powerful thing you can do, the thing that will do more than anything else to collapse the distance between where you are and where you are going, is to go home to yourself, fully, completely, without reservation or apology, or the hedge of, but what if I'm wrong? Because when you are truly home in your own heart, fully present to your own beauty and depth and sacred purpose, you become impossible to miss. You become a beacon, and beacons do not chase the ships they guide. They simply shine, and the ships find them. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating, this faithful, sacred thing that has kept going through every season of uncertainty, through every heartbreak and doubt, and long, quiet stretch of waiting. This heart that loved before it was loved back, and kept loving anyway. This heart that knew before it had proof, and kept knowing anyway. This heart that is yours, and has always been yours, and is the most powerful instrument of frequency you possess. And say this, quietly or aloud, with as much truth as you can bring to it in this moment. Even if the truth is small, even if you can only mean it a little, I am worthy of the love I feel reaching for me. I release what has completed and open to what is coming. I trust the timing of my soul's sacred journey. I am already found. Before you scroll, take a moment to leave something real in the comments. Not a perfect thought, a true one. What is your heart carrying tonight about love? About waiting? About hope? Write it. And then read what someone else has written and remind them they are not alone, because this community is not an audience, it is a field. And when hearts in a field choose to open at the same moment, something extraordinary happens in the frequency, something that moves beyond screens and algorithms and into the realm where love actually lives. If this message touched something in you, share it. Not because the numbers matter, but because somewhere in your world there is a starseed lying awake tonight who needs to hear exactly this. Who needs to know that their ache is sacred, and their love is coming and they were never, not for a single moment, forgotten. Be the one who sends it to them. Subscribe if you want to stay in this frequency. This is your space, and what is being built here is something your heart already recognizes.